Welcome back to Enshrouded, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to craft the 3 new armor sets that were added with the new Thralls of Twilight update, as well as how and where to find the 2 new cosmetic sets. And you may have gotten this dark blue cosmetic set from Twitch drops if you were watching any Enshrouded Twitch streamers recently, but today I'm going to show you how to find and craft all of these in-game, because these are some really amazing armor sets. So hope this helps, and let's get started. I'll start by showing you how to craft the 3 new armor sets, one at the blacksmith, one at the alchemist, and one at the huntress. Starting with the blacksmith, who offers the Blackguard armor set here. And I'll just go over some of the stats of this. Basically, the unique stats of these 3 armor sets will be plus time in the shroud, as well as shroud resistance. And then the other buffs will be unique to each of the NPCs. So basically like melee damage buffs and extra health for the blacksmith sets. And the alchemist will be better for a mage build. Huntress will be better for a ranged build, etc. So now the ingredients for these sets. The 2 key ingredients that are new with this update are the critter glands and the monstrous ribs. The rest you'll basically just need bronze bars, it looks like linen, and leather to be able to craft these sets. And I think this is the same actually at all of the NPCs. You can see the alchemist here offers the omen armor set. Again, linen, bronze bars, leather, but the monstrous ribs and critter glands I will show you how to find in this video, because these are both new. And if you haven't found these yet, you won't unlock these armor set recipes at the NPCs until you do. Let's just go over the hunter set really quick. The plague bringer set. So again, leather, bronze bars, linen, but the critter glands and monstrous ribs. So let me show you how to get those. The monstrous ribs are dropped from fell bosses in the shroud, and the easiest place I found to get them is in the Nomad Highlands. If you're at the ancient spire, just glide right over to this little shroud over here, the Cradle of Dusk, which is to the west of the Nomad Highlands spire, and there'll be a fell monstrosity over there. I think the Black Cauldron for the Alchemist quest is also in this area, but this is just a super easy spot to get it. Love the new lighting with this update, it is gorgeous. But we'll just land right in here, and as a mage build, these monstrosities are really easy to get. You can see it down there in the shroud. Let me go ahead and just use an Eternal Fireball, and we can start hacking away at this guy. So this boss fight isn't too hard. I'd say just kind of keep an eye out for all the other guys that it keeps spawning in. So just kind of going in circles, getting this one out, and getting these little guys out. But the nice thing about this one is it's not like it's deep in the shroud. You don't have to go anywhere special. You can just glide straight to it from the spire, and then you could just log back out and then log in again, and it'll all respawn, or just wait like 30 minutes in game and it'll respawn. And you can see right here we have the ribs here, the monstrous ribs. So you will have to get quite a few of those, and there's the cauldron there. But yeah, you can just kind of keep logging in and finding it, or they'll be found in elixir wells or shroud roots and things along those lines, but you can just easily get right out of the shroud and fast travel back. So that's why I love this spot for finding the ribs. And then for the critter glands here, these are most commonly found off of the critters in the shroud. And I found a few in the Kindle Waste biome, but they are also a bunch of them in the Nomad Highlands here. So if we just fly southwest of the Nomad Highlands Ancient Spire here, right over to Mayfair Lot. That's also related to another quest in game, but that's a super close and easy spot to get a bunch of these critter glands. A bunch of them spawn in over there, but there's a ton of these, honestly, everywhere in the shroud. If you're worried about this, though, these kind of are in some deeper shroud areas. Just bring a shroud survival flask and whatever else you'd like. But we're just going to fly right down here. Looks a little bit cloudy and a little foggy, so just be prepared. Bring a friend with you if you're worried, or turn the difficulty settings down, because this area does have a lot of these other shroud guys. But yeah, we can just kind of grapple these to us, take them out, or shoot them with a bow and arrow. And you can see on these little critters are the critter glands. And that's just a way to get a ton of them. So super easy because there's a bunch of the critter spawns over here. All of these all spawn critters. And then when you're done, you can just head over this direction and there will be pathways to kind of take you up and out of the shroud. So that's the important information that you need to know to unlock and craft the 3 new armor sets. So now let's move on to finding these 2 new cosmetic sets. The white one here, which is the Scholar of the Young Flame set, that can be found in the 5 Night Sanctums in the Kindle Waste biome down here. And then the other one, which is the Scholar of the Empyrean set, that one can be found in the 5 Night Sanctums of the Nomad Highlands biome. So let me show you where each of those Night Sanctums are and where to go inside them to find the cosmetics. I'll start with the Scholar of the Empyrean cosmetic in the Nomad Highlands here. So if you glide down just north of the Nomad Highlands Spire, this is the first Night Sanctum here that we will be going into. This is where it is on the map relative to the Nomad Highlands Spire, basically just gliding down past the Flame Shrine, and it is on ground level below these large cliffs above it. And I will be doing these at night because the Night Sanctums only open at night. And another thing I will mention for all of these Night Sanctums is that you need to have a lot of sparks on you. At least 10 sparks for the 10 Night Sanctums that we will be going to throughout this video, because you need sparks to enter these. So be sure to bring sparks, and also be sure to bring plenty of lockpicks, because some of the chests need lockpicks, and there's not many metal scraps that you can find in these things. So starting with this one, basically just time it right so you don't get completely smashed by all these spikes. And we'll just start left, and I'll take you through all of these Night Sanctums fully so that you know what to expect. So we can just dodge these guys. There's a button up ahead here. And we'll press that one. Heading out and around, dodging those guys. Across the lava here. And then you'll be safe in the middle of these squares with these little lightning guys that shoot out. So you've got a chest over here. And that one has a lockpick. This one, though, I believe just has, yeah, that's just a weapon there. But I figure I'll let you know where those are. The one we're after is the one on this side that you can see currently has a button that we need to find. So let's keep going this way over here. And then let's head to the left here. And we have a button right here, which opens that door. So if we head back around, over to here, through these spikes, and around here, you can see now that door and that door open. I think it is this door here. They're very identical, so forgive me if I get some of them wrong, but let's see. This chest right here has the boots here. Now, the next Night Sanctum can be found all the way south of the Nomad Highlands Spire. If we glide all the way down here, it is right next to Lupa's Lair. So when you're on the bridge looking at Lupa's Lair here, it is on a cliff in the Shroud, just to the southwest here. So if we jump off over here, and then glide down just a little bit, it's not all the way at the bottom of the Shroud. It is slightly above, so we're just gonna kind of land on here, slowly make our way down, and it is right over here. So not at the very bottom of the Shroud, but kind of halfway up the cliff. Let me just make sure I'm zoomed into the map. You guys can see where that is. There's also a gem forge right near it. So right over here relative to Lupa's Lair right there. This is in the Shroud, so be sure you bring your Shroud Survival Flask if you want a little bit extra time. And now we are in this Night Sanctum. So we'll head straight over here, and then off to the left here, past the fireballs, and then going up around here. And there are a few other chests and little things here and there in these Night Sanctums. I'm just going to try to show you the main things here. So head past these axes, a lockpick over here, and there is the Scholar of the Empyrean helmet. The next Knight Sanctum here is a little bit tricky to find. I'm going to kind of go counterclockwise. You can see this was the last one we went to, right below Lupa's lair there. The next one is over here below the Pillars of Creation. This is where it is relative to the Nomad Highlands Ancient Spire. Again, across the Shroud of Umber Hollow. And you'll see a little VUCA camp over here. This is the ground level in the Nomad Highlands. There's a path running over here. And you might be thinking it is in these little cliffs and rocks over here. That's where my icon shows, but it took me a while to find this one. So it's not in those cliffs. You actually have to go all the way into the shroud here. And then we can kind of turn ourselves around and head over towards it. Location reached for my waypoint, but this one is a bit tricky to find. It's right over here. And these do not show up on your map until you actually come right next to the door. That's why I figured I'd do this video, because it is a bit tricky for some of these. I think the quest shows up like little question mark. It only gives you one question mark per biome, but you obviously got to find the other 4. So this one does not show up on your map initially. So this is where it is. Basically hidden in the shroud. A little bit of a tricky spot. We can enter that one. So in this Knight Sanctum, we head straight through to the right here, and then continue straight. We go across here, and there will be a little button over here. Go ahead and press that. And go the rest of the way around here, underneath these guys. So that's where we came in from. So now we want to go left here, under that one, under this one, under this one, and you'll see the lava. We're going to take a right over here, fly all the way down, and then go through these spikes. And you can see that button opened this door right down here. And in this locked chest should be the next cosmetic piece. Yep, there are the pants. The next Knight Sanctum is actually inside the Pillars of Creation. So here are the Pillars of Creation. We have the VUCA Arena right in the center of the two. And if you take this little arched pathway kind of above the VUCA Arena, it will lead into a tunnel system inside this Pillar of Creation. You'll see a lot of VUCA camps and everything. It's a bit of a maze, but if you come near this VUCA brawler here, you will see the boss bar on your screen. If you see that, you know you're close. So you'll just come off to the side here. It's a bit up. And right around here, we're kind of looking down at the VUCA brawler. This is all inside the Pillar of Creation. The Knight Sanctum will be right over here. There's a little trap right there. And this is where it is on the map again. So it might take a little bit to find. Takes me a little bit to find it each time. Just wandering around, but you'll come across it eventually. And going in this one, we're gonna head across the lava here, off to the left. And then up this way, off to the left again. And through these axes, there is a button. And if we press that, and then head back through here, oops, to the lava, you can see that button is one of 2 buttons that we need to unlock this door right over here. And back behind us there is the return beacon where we entered the sanctum. So if we head over this way, all the way around these spikes, all the way through to the other side here, this is the second button for that door. So we press that, head all the way back through here, underneath these spikes, back into the center here, and you'll be able to spot the door. It is right over there. It is now open. So we can just jump across. And it'll be in one of these 2 chests. I think it's this right one here. Nope, that is the Wild Heart daggers. So maybe this one. It might be random, but either way, for this temple, it is the left one, and that is where we can find the gloves. And the last Night Sanctum for the Scholar of the Empyrean cosmetic is right over here. You can see we have the Rib Cage and Rattlebleak and the Nomad Highland Spire. You can even see the spire from here. So it's right up on the cliffs. This is what the surrounding terrain looks like. It's a bit up here. You can kind of wind around, especially from this side. You can see they kind of slope down. So you head on up, and it's in the side of this cliff right up here. So we can go ahead and enter this one. And once we are in here, we will have another elevator. We'll just wait till that comes back up to the top. And take that down. It'd be really cool if we got some of these traps or elevators or things in-game. It's really, really nice. They did a great job with these Night Sanctums. We'll have another thing similar with a door straight ahead that you see needs 2 buttons to unlock. So let's head off to the left here first. And then all the way down the bottom and across. And this is one of the buttons. We'll make our way back up. Around here. A little grapple there. Another one up here. And back through. And you can see that's one of the 2 buttons. Oops. Now we'll head off this direction. And down here. And that is the second button. So I'll press that. Head back up on the jumpy flower. Back into the middle here. And there's the door. Wait for these spikes over here. Go off to the side. And again, one of these 2 chests. I don't know which one. Let's just check the right one first. And it's in the right one this time. So there is the cloak. And there we have it. That is the full Scholar of the Empyrean cosmetic set, which looks super cool. So now I will show you where we can get the Scholar of the Young Flame cosmetic that I'm wearing right now, so you can see how it looks. This one also looks great. And this one can be found in the 5 Night Sanctums in the Kindle Waste biome. We're going to start with one all the way at the bottom right corner of the map. You can see here's the Kindle Waste Ancient Spire. We have an Elixir Well and a Shroud Root over here. And the Night Sanctum is all the way down here. So let me make my way down there and show you what the entrance looks like. Alright, we are at the entrance now. And it is all the way at the bottom of the Shroud. Completely as low as you can go at ground level here. Below these upper cliffs, all the way at the bottom. And you'll see the entrance in the side of the cliff right here. So we can go into here. Again, they all just use sparks to get in. And we head through here. These ones are a little bit trickier. The spikes just go a little bit faster. So there's a button over there. Those buttons, I believe, open the doors to the Gem Forge because there's actually a Gem Forge down inside this Night Sanctum. But what we want to do is head down here. And then you can see there is some lava, and the door we want to go through is this one straight ahead of us. So if we go to the right, there's another button there. That's the second one to open the gem door. But to open the cosmetic door, we want to go to the left here. There's a broken elevator. We need to fly down on top of it, climb down below on the side, and then we've got some spikes right over here. Gonna go off to the side just so that I don't get completely wrecked by them. And the button we are after is right over here. By pressing that, we can go back over here. This, by the way, is the door to the Gem Forge. But we want to go back up the broken elevator so we can climb up the side right over here. And then hop on it, go up the other side over here. And then off to our right is where we want to jump over to. And the door is straight this way, off to the left. And in this chest. So right there, we have the helmet. The next Night Sanctum is all the way at the bottom left of the Kindle Waste. Right near Deep Cut here. You can see here is the Kindle Waste Spire if we zoom out, and here is the Low Meadows Spire. So kind of in between the two, all the way at the bottom of the map here, this is the Night Sanctum. Here's the entrance. It is in the Shroud, at the bottom of the Shroud. So below the cliffs and rocks, and you will find the entrance tucked away at the bottom of the cliff here. And in these Kindle Waste Night Sanctums, we're gonna have to start being really careful because these spikes do a ton of damage. So over here, there will be an elevator. Gonna wait for that to come down. There we go. We can go ahead and hop on that. And then get off it up here. Watch out for those spikes. Follow behind them, off to the side and around. Underneath both of these. And straight ahead. Avoid the little zappy things. And then head all the way down here. And then off to the right over here. There's just a loot chest, so actually we want to go just continue straight. That's not one of the ones for the cosmetic. So we head all the way down here. Go through these guys. And this is the one where we want to head off to the right. There we go. Whoop. Gotta be careful of those. And in this locked chest right here, we have the pants. Now on to the next one, which is right over here on the map, relative to the Kindle Waste Ancient Spire. You can see if I zoom all the way in, we are right under the Ancient Obelisk, also the excavation camp right there, and we've got Brittle Bush Village right over here. So Brittle Bush is off that way. There is the spire for the Kindle Waste, and it is just on the floor of the Kindle Waste here, not in the Shroud for this one. Right below these cliffs. So let's head into this one. Off this way and down to the bottom. Around here. Avoid the spikes. Same thing with these guys. And then off to the right there. I can't remember if this was the cosmetic or just a loot chest. I think this one might just be a loot chest. Yeah, that one is just a loot chest. So we head back and around. And continue on this way. Yeah, we go further down here. So we've got an elevator. We'll just let this go all the way down here. And hop off down here, wait for the spikes. There we go. Around the fireballs. Down to the bottom. And this should be the cosmetic chest. And yep, there we go. Scholar of the Young Flame Boots. The next Night Sanctum is right over here, near the Draconian Vulture Nest, as well as the Turnian Mine. So if you're on the path from the Turnian Mine, and I'll just show you relative to the spires, this one is actually closer to the Nomad Highlands Ancient Spire over here. Kindle Waste one is down here, so yeah, you can get up above this hill with the Ghost Glider from the Ancient Spire and the Nomad Highlands. And then the Draconian Vulture Nest will be on the top of the cliffs there. So this is all the way at the bottom. Fly to the bottom, ground floor. The path that is going through the mines, if you're headed kind of more into the cliffs, you'll take a left here, and the entrance to the Night Sanctum is right over here. And in this sanctum, we want to head straight back this way and off to the right this time, and further right. There will be a button on this back wall here. So cross the lava, get the button, avoid the lightning. And I need to reference again where we came in at, because this one is a little bit of a maze. So let me just double check. I think it is right there. Yep, there's the return beacon. So we went off to the right there to get the button. So now we want to head around and go straight back this way. Back here, avoid the spikes. That button opened this door right here. And in this chest should be the next cosmetic piece. Yep, there's the gloves. And the last night sanctum for the Scholar of the Young Flame cosmetic is right over here, just next to Ocean's Heart and above the hollow halls of the Kindle Waste. Here it is relative to the Kindle Waste spire. You can see it's right up here. And there is Ocean's Heart. So it's right next to there, out of the shroud and below this cliff right here. So we can enter into this one. There we go. And we are going to head all the way off to the left in this one. There's going to be an elevator. We can wait for that one to come back up. And take this all the way down. There we go. And we're going to head off to the right for this one. So avoiding the spikes. Off this way, there's going to be a broken elevator. So we'll head down here and go down here, up this way, and straight across by those fireballs in this chest right here. This is where we have the cloak. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If it was, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers.